Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay Will. So a lot of people have asked me what are my thoughts on a device they can use instead of the Note 7 since they had to send it back. Now there are several people out there that are very stubborn that are just not going to send their Note back. They're saying I'm just keeping it. No one's going to make me give it up. Hey, more power to you. But I wouldn't call this video a video to say that these phones are replacements for the Note 7 because I feel like the Note 7, a replacement for a Galaxy Note is another Galaxy Note. So let's start by saying that the replacement for the Galaxy Note 7 is going to be the Note 5, the Note 4, 3, 2, 1, you get it. Only those devices can truly replace the Galaxy Note 7 because they have the functionality that the Note 7 had. Because if you're buying a Galaxy Note 7, you're not so much buying it for the speakers, or you might not be buying it for a lot of other things, the S Pen, you're buying it for that, somewhat functionality and other things that you like in TouchWiz. But with that being said, there are several devices that far exceed the Note in a lot of areas and can be used as a daily driver. So don't watch this video thinking that I'm going to tell you that these phones are better than the Galaxy Note 7 overall, or these are replacements for the Galaxy Note 7. These are just the phones that I'm going to count them down in the order that I might just recommend them to you. They all have different prices. They all function very well. They do have some things that are better than the Note 7. But just take a look at the lineup here. So first here, we have the Axon 7. Now what makes this phone very attractive compared to the Note 7 is, for one, they're staring right at you, those dual front-firing speakers. It has a Quad HD display as well, and this phone is only $400. So that alone makes it a very attractive phone opposed to the Note 7. It's got an all-metal body, which is going to be a little bit more sturdier than the Note 7 because the Note 7 has all glass. It's got a rear-mounted fingerprint reader, which a lot of people are falling in love with right now. Now, the cameras on this probably won't perform as well as the Note 7. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to put those side by side in the same video, but I do have videos up of both of these phones, so go check it out if you want to see what the cameras are like. All in all, though, this is a fantastic device. Nothing right now to me beats the sound quality of the Axon 7, and priced at $400, and sometimes there's always a deal where you're getting something free. This is a great alternative to the Galaxy Note 7 if you're indifferent about what you should buy. You're going to save at half the cost, and you're going to get much better battery life in my experience. Yours might differ, I don't know, but this battery right here is 3250 and it lasts a heck of a lot longer than the 3500 battery in the Note 7. I know that you might be saying, well, Jay, the Note 7 had battery problems. That's true, but when the Note 7 was not acting up, it actually had pretty good battery. So with that being said, I think the Axon 7 is one of the first phones you should consider. And there's just a lot about this phone that I really enjoy. Primarily the build quality and the speakers and the screen are just gorgeous. Now, I haven't had any experience with lag or anything like that. I think this is a flawless device, and it's just doing very well. So I'm running the Pixel launcher on here right now, the older version of it. So it's running good. So the Axon 7 is definitely a phone that you should consider when thinking about picking up something other than the Note. Now, the Galaxy Note 7's rival is right here, the iPhone 7 Plus. So a lot of people pit this phone against the Note 7. I also did a battle between these two, and the Note 7 obviously came out on top because this isn't a feature-rich phone at all, nor is the Axon 7 because they're considered stock. So that could be a good thing though. So with that, the iPhone 7 Plus could be a good alternative if you're looking to spend that type of money. So this phone right here, I think it was $770 I paid plus tax. So it came to like $800 and something with taxes. This is the 32 gig, and it's a lot of money. There's no SD card. There's a lot of drawbacks too. There's no SD card. It's water resistant. It does have a metal body. It does look very sexy like the Note 7. But it's a little bit more clunkier than the Note 7. It's got these huge bezels on the top and bottom. The speaker setup is a lot better than the Note 7, that's for sure. As far as battery life, this just obliterates the Note 7. Even without the battery problems, this just has fantastic battery. And there's just no getting around that. The iPhone line has done a great job at optimizing their system for battery life. So the iPhone 7 Plus is a great alternative to the Note 7 line if you're looking for a large screen as well. This is 5.5 and this is 5.5. So I think this is a great phone. It is pricey. It is overpriced just like the Note 7. So keep that in mind. But if you're looking to try something completely different than Android, then iOS is a definite switch. The iPhone 7 is definitely great, or iOS is good on updates. You will get timely updates. Anytime there's something coming out, this phone right now is on 10.0.3. Since I've had this phone, and I think it's about a month now or whatever, I've gotten 2 updates. So that's fantastic. Apple is always on their game with their updates. So this is another alternative to picking up the Note 7. It's a little pricey, but it is doable. It is doable. So the next line I'm going to tell you about. Now we're getting into phones that are priced a little bit lower, and they offer a heck of a lot for the price. I mean, this is the Moto G4, and you also have the Moto G4 Plus. Now, both of these phones are just stellar. The Moto G4 Plus has a 16 megapixel camera, and it has a fingerprint reader down here, and you can get it in more RAM. There's different options, but still, it's topping out at about $300, and that is fantastic. You've got adaptable storage. You can get it with 64 gig. It's just a lot going on here, and it's really good. Now, this is an IPS display. However, once again, this phone has a 3,000 milliamp hour battery. And the battery life is just amazing on here. You're guaranteed, you should definitely get at least 5.5 to 6 hours on every charge. So you should average almost 6 hours on every charge. Now, with that being said, you should definitely get more than that every now and then, because I can peak out probably at 7 hours sometimes with this, depending on what I'm doing. Also, standby time on this is just amazing, just like the iPhone 7 Plus and the iPhone 7. Just amazing. This just has great battery. And one thing about this phone, now this is the G4, not the G4 Plus. This has a 13 megapixel camera, so you don't get the laser autofocus, and it's a 13 instead of a 16. However, this has Moto gestures, and this also has, this 13 megapixel camera is just awesome. It is really good. The front and the rear camera, I've given very high marks to this phone right here. Because it's really nice. Another thing that makes this very attractive compared to the Note line is you're getting stock Android pretty much, and you're getting timely updates. Now, this will get Nougat. We don't know when the Galaxy Note line is going to get Nougat. So that's kind of one of those things. If you're into that and you want timely updates, this phone is definitely going to get it. Motorola has released their lineup of phones that are going to get Nougat, and there's a bunch of them on it. Nearly all of them are on there that are current day, except for the Moto E, I believe. So, and I think the Moto G4, the Moto G 3rd gen, I think that's one. There's a lot of them on there. I'm not for sure, but nonetheless, the price on this, you can get this phone for $99. And if you search around, you might be able to get one pre-owned for a G4 Plus pre-owned for about $199 or $150 or $160. You just have to kind of search around, but this has a front-firing speaker on here at the top there, and it's plenty loud. It's good. I'm really impressed with the build quality and the screen on here, and these cameras are amazing. I can't tell you enough how nice this phone really is. For the price, this is a killer deal. You're spending a fraction of the cost that you get for the Note 7, and you still get a great screen, great speaker up top, build quality. It's water repellent, so that's good. It's got fantastic cameras, man. The cameras on here, I can't stress enough, are really, really nice. So this is another great alternative to, if you're trying to decide, I got to leave my Note, what else should I get? Now, I have lots of phones, but I just picked out the ones that I use probably all week long. I'm always having my SIM card in them at one point or another. So another phone here, and so if you don't see a phone in this video, that doesn't mean that it's not a good phone or not a good alternative. Like I said, I just chose to pick out these few that I have here. But the next one on the line here is the also famous ZTE ZMaxPro. Now, this phone right here, and the reason this one is coming in fourth, I'm kind of going in order that I would actually probably buy these, with the last ones, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then one's over there. This phone right here, you can actually get this probably for $39, I think, if you port it into Metro PCS. This is also coming to T-Mobile. You heard it here on your man Jay Will's channel. Look out for this next month. This phone is just, it's just amazing. There are so many things to like about this phone. One, a lot of us wanted a 6-inch Galaxy Note 7. A lot of us did. Don't say you didn't. And you also wanted a flat screen. Well, Some things about this one, I didn't mention it on the ZTE Axon 7, but these have Dolby audio, and it's even better on here, but it's actually really good on here. When you tweak the settings, you can get some serious sound out of this phone. I mean, I kid you not. And I say that because it has a rear mounted speaker. So with that being said, you get a beautiful 1080p IPS display for $39. You get adaptable storage, you get a fingerprint reader on the rear. The cameras on the rear and the front are good. They're not blow your mind great, but for this price they are. You know, they're blow your mind great for this price. You know, so retail for this now I think it's $99, or you know, at the peak you're going to spend $179 full cost. This can be unlocked for all GSM carriers. Mine is unlocked. This was the Metro PCS version. It's unlocked to all GSM carriers. This is a phenomenal phone. 6-inch display. Cameras are good, and you get all of that display because the buttons are down here. Now they actually took advantage of the bottom of the bezel here. This is a huge bezel, but they take advantage of it with buttons that actually light up kind of bright, and so that's good. At the top here, you've got a nice front-facing camera and your speaker grill there, and that's it. And on the back here, you know, it's kind of highlighted in like a rose gold or whatever around all the accents. You get a textured power button, a volume rocker, nice. You get USB Type-C on this very affordable phone. So this phone is actually probably one of the best purchases you can make out of all of these devices here that I'm going to show you. I got one more to show you here, and some of them, like I said, if I don't mention it in this video, doesn't mean that it's not great. Like the iPhone 7, the regular one, I don't use that regularly, but it's a phenomenal device. It's one that I would recommend, but it's in line here because it's priced kind of high. You know, it's kind of expensive. So nonetheless, the ZTE ZMax Pro is a phenomenal device and well worth the price. Even if you were to spend $170 for this and then get it unlocked, I posted the unlock code about months ago. I've had this for months, and it was $4, and the price is kind of fluctuating on that. And I think what happened is the unlocks took off and a lot of people started buying it, and so the seller that I posted it from, he raised the price. He or she raised the price, and so now the price is fluctuating between $15 and $25. That's still cheaper than a lot of other places, but you can actually still get it for $5. You just have to do your research. Nonetheless, this works on all carriers, GSM carriers, once unlocked. The screen is great. The battery is fantastic. I believe this has like a 3,400 milliamp hour battery or something like that. It is good. Well worth the money. I kid you not. This is a phenomenal device. Now, the last phone I have here that I want to show you is my daily driver. I think you all know what it is. It's the MotoZPlay. Now, the MotoZPlay, to me, is like the ultimate device right now. You know why? Because it has a Super AMOLED display, and it's 1080p. So to me, it's actually better than all of these displays right here. That's just me. You can disagree if you want to, but this phone right here has a better display than all of these. This is a Super AMOLED 1080p display. So this is 1080p, this is 1080p, this is 1080p, and this is Quad HD. This is a Super AMOLED display, 5.5 inches. This has just kind of the total package for me. I think the build quality is phenomenal. It's got Moto mods. You can slap on a battery, a speaker, a style mod. The camera is 16 megapixel with 1.3 microns. So this is actually supposed to be the same camera on the G4 Plus, but this camera, in my opinion, is much better than the G4 Plus in just real world testing. It's got USB Type-C, it's got a headphone jack down there, it's got a fingerprint reader on the front. Now the fingerprint reader isn't the most beautiful fingerprint reader. If it was like an oval shape, I would have liked that better, but that's just me. It's got a front-facing camera with front-facing flash, and this Moto doesn't. This is just, it's got a front-firing speaker right here, and the grill is actually really loud, but I can slap on a Moto mod and get JBL boom right out of the back. That's fantastic. This phone has fantastic cameras. I can't stress it enough. It's really, really good. More importantly, this comes in a couple of colors, but to me, the one to get is the white and gold. Because on the Z line, like the Z and the Z Force, they have, this is all gold and it's metal, and I didn't like that. I I like metal devices, but this white glass, there's no fingerprints, and I just think this combination setup right here is really sexy. You got a textured volume rocker. Now, I've already reviewed this phone. You can see, you know, the volume rockers, excuse me, you got a textured power button. Volume rockers are a little high, but overall, to me, this is kind of a complete package. You've got Moto gestures, you've got adaptable storage, you've just got a complete lineup right here. But more importantly, this is $400. The unlocked version, now you guys know that the official unlocked version is getting ready to launch. It's $450, and right now you can only get it in black. And I don't know if this color is just an exclusive for Verizon, because all of the unlocked ones that I see online, they're all black. The black and silver one, I personally like this white and gold. It is sexy. This is a beautiful piece of hardware. Now, it's your choice. That's preference right there. You know, I just like the white and gold. You know, I like black phones, but this particular model, I had to get it in the white and gold. I just thought it stood out a little bit more. It's very sexy. There's got chamfered edges on there. It's just beautiful. But you've got a lot of things going for itself here. One of the main things that makes this phone better than all of these is the battery life. This phone right here, you can average about 9.5 hours. Average, I said. This is a 3510 milliamp hour battery. It's got a Snapdragon 625 in here, which is equivalent to the 801 and 805 in performance. But more importantly, wow, this battery life is insane. And when I put on my Incipio mod, I'm pushing 12 to 14 hours easy. Beautiful screen, great speaker, Snap-on a banging speaker, Moto mods. Right now, I'm just going to tell you that Motorola is winning out of all these OEMs, because Motorola has a phone for all people. There's a baby brother to this phone with a 5-inch screen. You can get it as low as $65. So this is the Verizon version, but it is factory unlocked, and I have my T-Mobile SIM in here. This is my daily driver for people that want to know which. I know you have multiple phone numbers, Jay. I do. What's your main phone? This is my main phone, and it's always probably going to be my main phone until something comes along to really knock it off its block. And it'll probably be another Motorola phone. Now, while I love the Samsung Galaxy Note line, this phone right here is one that I've recommended to a lot of people. It's half the cost. This battery will blow you away, guys. It will knock your socks off. There's no getting around it. And if you put on that Moto mod, battery mod, like I do sometimes, you're pushing an easy 12 to 14 hours on a single charge. I'm talking about screen on time. Usage, you're going to get several days. I get several days out of this. I'm going to get at least, you can average at least a day and a half with an average of 9.5 hours of screen on time on every single charge. Now, if you add the Moto mod with the battery, depending on, and I'm a heavy user, so, and it depends on what you have installed. There's a lot that goes into battery life and screen on time. It depends on what you have installed. There's just too much. The way you use it, how long you make phone calls, there's just way too much. How many accounts you have synced, there's a lot. And I have a lot of notifications going off all the time. So, and if I'm getting that kind of battery life, you should be able to get even better. So this is my top picks right here for people that ditch their Note. Some phones that I would recommend. I just can't stress it enough. These are all great. But I say, you know, you have to make your own decision. You're going to have to decide which one you like the best out of all of them. But I think if you pick an OEM, I think, you know, I have 2 ZTE phones here and I have 2 Motorola phones, but Motorola has a few more options than ZTE right now. Now, ZTE has phones for everyone, but most of them are locked carriers, and they're changing that by doing a lot of unlocked phones. So the Mini is available unlocked right now for pre-order for the Axon 7, but that's still $300. And they do have a bunch of phones that are that are low in price, like the Motorola line, but they're scattered amongst carriers. You know, so the Moto line you can get it pretty much unlocked. And so that's why I kind of favor them over a lot of the other OEMs. But there you have it, man. It's your man, Jay Will. Some of my alternative devices that I would recommend for you if you're thinking about ditching your Note 7, if you're trying to let it go, you're in denial, don't want to let it go. This is what some of the phones that I would recommend. Now, some people are saying they're not going to lock you out of your phone. What's happening is people are commenting on the older videos for the Note 7, and they're saying, oh, Jay, you're giving out the wrong information. I'm not giving out the wrong information because at the time of the recording of that video, that is what the information was. I'm not going to make a video every 15 minutes saying, oh, it changed, you know. So you have to do your own research. That video is there. Most of the information that I give is accurate at the time. If it changes, then it changes. And if a week or 2 passes, then I'll update like I've been doing recently by putting out a lot more discussion videos. However, I definitely recommend that you do your own research. You have to do your own research. That's just how it is. Are they going to lock you out of your Note 7? You know, I was told that they will eventually by T-Mobile and Samsung. Some people commented and said, well, I just called Samsung and T-Mobile, and they said they're not going to do that. Well, think about all the million representatives that we have. And my sources, you know, I talk directly to people that, managers and stuff that work directly for T-Mobile, not just regular managers, people who are into the company, and also Samsung as well. So, hey, if you don't believe what I'm saying, that's fine. I understand. Just do your own research. But, you know, don't comment on a video. Well, I can't tell you not to, but when you comment on an old video saying, oh, this is inaccurate, look at the date of the video. That's all I can tell you, you know. Things obviously have changed. Also, try reading through comments before you comment. The answers are probably already down there, or you're just duplicating another comment. That's real talk. So, I'll give you some more coverage on this phone right here. I've got some stuff. The video is probably already up, or it's coming up. So, it's your man Jay Will. I'll see you guys in the next video. Note 7 owners, be safe and turn your Note 7 in. It's just not realistic for you to keep it. There's a million of them still left out there, I think. And then, you know, the numbers show that 40% of people don't want to use Samsung devices at all again. They're done with Samsung. And 30% said they're going to an iPhone or another phone. So that's just what it is. There's also a rumor out there that Samsung's stopping the Galaxy Note line, period. I don't believe that rumor. I have to see it to believe it. I have to hear Samsung make a fake official statement and give it to me like that. Other than that, that's definitely a rumor. I was going to do a video on that, but I'll just talk about it a little bit at the end of this video. There is a rumor that says they're going to stop making the Galaxy Note line and they're going to focus on other products. I don't believe that to be true until I get more evidence. And if I get more evidence, I'll make a separate video. It's your man Jay Will. See you in the next one.